Go Casters! That's what producer Nicholas just said. Director, he's a director actually, James. I should correct myself. He's directing the show, and that's what HellRaisers are doing as well. They're directing the show right now against Avangar. Absolutely smashed them on Dust 2. Didn't even have to pull out any special plays. All they did, James, was they let Issa out of his cage, and he is just tearing them apart.
He is. Can Avangar bring things back on their map pick, Cash? That is coming up shortly, and the match should be starting shortly as well. Very curious indeed. I think we will see more from Woxic on this map. I don't feel like he got the opportunity to pop off as much as he might have liked to. But Issa most certainly did, and we see some highlights from him here in this round, and plenty of others. He was all over this game of Counter-Strike. So he's coming in hot into Cash, another open map, and that might not be so favorable for Avangar, who did not get all the rounds, or many rounds even, on Dust 2. It was pretty much domination from start to finish.
It was very dominating. It was very dominating, and perhaps they will also once again do so on Cash, as it is, you know, very friendly to the same skill sets, isn't it? So it would be cool to see more fights out of Avangar. As you mentioned before, it is their choice. Perhaps they have some cool stuff to show us, because at the very least, we can see it's fun to watch. Even if a team loses, it's fun to see what their game plan is. How it shows you how they think about the game, how they approach the game. It shows you what they've been doing in practice. It shows you also, looking at the form of the players, how confident they are. It tells us a lot. Even though the result may be unfavorable, it will be giving us loads of great information on the team. And HellRaisers, they are tough to beat, but it's not just one team that's going to go through. So Avangar, there's lots to be gained from this match.
HellRaisers have 4 players with Karambits, and then Woxic has a flip knife. They almost all have the same knife. I don't think I've seen a game where 4 players had the same knife, which is interesting.
Fun
I
facts.
have 5 knives myself, so to see 4 people with the same knife is kind of funny to me. Completely random and irrelevant, but it is an observation which I find interesting. Which of my knives do you have at the moment?
I don't know. Not sure. I haven't played.
Is it a
in a little bit.
tiger tooth?
I think it is. I think no, because I had that, and then you wanted it back, and you gave me a bayonet, and then you took that back, and then now I think it's tiger tooth again.
Okay.
Tiger tooth. Tiger.
Tiger tooth. Tiger.
Tiger.
Tiger. Tiger.
Tiger.
All right then, HellRaisers. Wait, who won the knife round? HellRaisers won the knife round, and they're switching to T side. That's interesting. I guess it is more favorable these days than it used to be. So HellRaisers won the knife, and they'll choose to start on the T side. We are about to get into it here on Cash. Now, in 2 different matches on Cash, we have seen hard counters from CT sides, which have both been correct. Are we going to see the same in this round?
Yeah, I love that smoke retake. Love this music too, by the way. I think that was a good, appropriate pre-game music. Jamming out to it. 5 players live at the start of the rounds, but soon they will start to fall. And it will be very soon, because HellRaisers walking it in. There's the smoke for a safe crossing. So, oh, maybe not. Oh, God. Key cuts with the pop.
That helps the retake strat.
Pop.
Avangar had 3 people in the B bomb site. Dima is still behind the box in B, and Buster is on the site. So with the smoke down and no plant just yet, they're not completely convinced that it is A, and now they will rotate. So it's a 5-man retake. Jamer's got the smoke and the defuse kit. Will he get his best Daps impression on and try and defuse the bomb in a cloud of question marks?
Like that. Woxic with the Glock. Gloxic is going to basically do all the damage himself. 3 quick kills, and that stifles the effort. Avangar concede the pistol, and that's not a good start for them. Obviously, they need everything to go right for them at the beginning of the map so that they can take initiative. And that will not be the case though. So this will be a test of how they're able to perform on the back foot. And the CT side has options with Force Buy. It's difficult, but there are worse maps for this. I think Dust 2 is one of them. For me, Dust 2 is maybe the hardest map, one of the hardest maps with the CT Force Buy.
We have seen so many iterations of this HellRaisers side. They are such a storied team in Counter-Strike. Will the story continue in this major?
Yeah. It's actually quite interesting to see, like, think about all the players that have passed through the doors.
Yeah.
Like Simple being one of them, for example. That was a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
Did he go to Flipside after that?
I don't even remember yesterday, Dan. Why are you asking me questions like this?
Obviously, you know, Bondix was on Flipside as well. Don't think anyone else on this team has been on Flipside.
It's been a long story for HellRaisers. The story of the Kazakhstanis is great as well. It was really cool to see the heroes welcome after Gambit won the major. I was so happy to see that. Man like Dozia out in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Kazakhstan yet. I really want to go. I have a friend who did a few of the stands, Uzbekistan as well. I would love to go to Mongolia. That's maybe next time I end up in China, I'll head to one of those countries. I went to Bali last time and threw up in the sea. It was great. 6 hours of nausea on a boat. It's fantastic.
How much did you want to just die?
I've felt worse. It's
Okay.
not as bad as like a hangover, for sure.
Oh, okay.
But it's not
Man,
fun.
Your hangovers must suck.
I'll never have one again.
Mac 10, Galil 3 AKs, good amount of grenades. HellRaisers playing the anti-eco. 2 players in Squeak. Oh, pop flash. Oh, that timing. Oh, that is so awesome. There you go. There's some plays. That was perfect to the millisecond.
It was pretty, wasn't it?
I thought the flash was going to hit the door. That was so close.
It was sailing through the air
Like
like a paper plane.
They must have messed that up before. Can you imagine the flash bouncing off the door, just splashing everyone? But they open the door and then there's T's out there, and then there's 3 blind CTs.
Guy comes out of a Mac 10.
That is
cleans up.
That would be so amazing to see. I would love to see both of those.
Well then, what have HellRaisers given up here? A Galil and a Molotov, but they have, sorry, Galil and a Mac 10. They have a Molotov to help clear the site somewhat. Now Angel, ooh, 2 targets. Oh dear. Will it be a single kill? Okay, Dead Fox has got 1.
Ooh.
He's got 2. An unlikely run from Avangar. The power of a flashbang.
Yeah. The plays on display. That was nice. That was very cool to see. And, you know, had there not been 2 players there, of course, maybe they would have got less mileage out of it, but there was. And maybe that was research, good reads, knowing the team that they're up against, knowing the meta that they're playing within. Obviously, meta is... There is the sort of top-level meta, top 8 meta, but there is sort of regional meta as well, because you have a collection of players who play a lot with each other, and so on and so forth. But enough about that. We've got a big push coming in very quickly from HellRaisers. Angry, force buying into this one, but they will be absolutely shut down. Avangar completely ready for that, and that is the perfect way to have the start that they need. And it's all off of the back of a beautiful flash play. I still kind of want to see that flash play again at some point and just see what happens when the CTs get wrecked because they mistime the door opening. But yeah, that's just you know, for entertainment value, not because I am malicious, but it would be hilarious. On the way, Glocks here for HellRaisers. They have been forced to respect Avangar somewhat, especially after Dust 2. That is much needed, and this, oh, wow, okay. Man was ducking, but only for so long. Woxic getting a very nice, very fast pick-off. Look at that gold Renegades sticker. Lovely. That is the Deagle gun. That was the only gun, really, and I think maybe Issa can pick it up. Someone can maybe pick it up. Trying to trade out Dima. And can they get it the second kill? He's very weak. Really, I think that might be the best case at this point. Maybe get the Deagle or just try to rush down Demastic. But he's always running away, and he's safe. He's safe. 3 kills for him, and only 1 kill going the way of HellRaisers. So Now the AKs can come back out. The money is not great. You really want everyone to have an AK, but Woxic won't be able to get anything more than a flash. Oh, Woxic. Okay, there we go.
I said oof.
Okay. Do HellRaisers keep up the fast pace? They got absolutely blasted when they went fast into A. And they are going fast into B, so apparently yes. And this might actually work because look at this. They wanted to actually go for a boost. They're stuck on the boxes. They're going to hold their ground on top of the boxes on the sites. Molotovs will begin to rain in as the push is going to continue here. And this is awkward as hell for Avangar. Both stuck behind the box, and there's not too much they can do, but maybe there is. They do some good damage.
That Molotov bought so much time for the rotation for the CTs. As soon as they saw the bomb after the first frag, everybody started running to B, and now they find themselves at a man advantage.
Plays.
James going to join his teammate through the vent, it seems. But Dead Fox may have found a way towards the A site. James coming back now towards connector. Does he have an angle to watch the cross? Oh, he's got an AWP as well. And that will be the round. The Molotovs really slowed HellRaisers down so much after that first frag. They didn't want to take a fight standing in the molly. They had to wait. The CTs got close enough. They won important duels. And then they won the round. No plant for HellRaisers, which means that they can't buy in this round. It will be an eco for them. 4 rounds in a row for Avangar. They have 2 AWPs now, the CT side. They will look to make a fat stack of cash in this round. HellRaisers with 3 players towards Squeaky. Dead Fox showing some presence towards B. Angel with the pop flash, and out they come.
Okay, so third time's a charm, perhaps. It's not over yet, though. The bomb's gone down, but the double orb retake is awkward for Jame and Buster.
Easter Smoke could be a GG.
Oh, that's a good boost.
That's pretty much a GG, surely.
Perfect, yeah.
There is the smoke I'm talking about.
Another reason why it needs to be GG right now is because Avangar, they don't want to give guns away, I think, to HellRaisers in this kind of a round. It's bad enough that they'll win this round, but if you give them orbs and rifles as well for the whole team, that saves them so much money. They would all have, you know, 5-6. Imagine if that was the case, they'd all have $5-6K and already all the rifles in the next round. So at least force them to buy some rifles.
I think even if that second frag doesn't come in, once that smoke goes down, I think they're probably Avangar may feel compelled to push and take the attrition. But I think when that smoke goes down, it makes it so hard. Maybe hold from distance and see if you get something towards Fork or otherwise, but they do take the safe approach. They save some money, hold on to their weapons, and they make HellRaiser spend more, as Dan mentioned, which is also important. 1 round advantage now for Avangar. Spray through mid in case any CTs were trying to get under the boost position. That would cause them a lot of problems. Always worth spraying through the smoke in mid, but knowing where and why. You can cross and smoke to the other direction, so if anyone's trying to get close to the vents, you can cause them problems as well. And you can see that Prison is in the vent.
It is quiet. About to hit the minute mark. Might see a delayed mid-take coming in from HellRaisers. That's a possibility here. Because he is watching in case the CTs did boost someone up there, and that having somebody boosted on the CT side is a good counterplay to the delayed mid-take, which is very common. And so you do have to watch for that and be cautious of it, but it will not be the case this round. The smokes, crisscross smokes to suggest a B split, and that will affect the CT rotation. And it affects the CT rotation because they don't have information. That's what the smokes are doing there. The smoke suggests something, and the CTs do not have anyone to confirm what is happening. Keycut is the closest to this. He's going to try to get the information. He will, but at the cost of his life. The bomb's being dropped as well in mid. Still opportunity here for HellRaisers, but the time is running out.
Buster and Prison on the site. Someone is surely going to get information by dying here. It will be Bondic, and Angel will join him. 10 seconds for this bomb to go down. He's got to get it in the smoke. James is creeping. I think Dead Fox realizes that this might happen, but he's got to go for the plant. James pushing through, but Woxic's got the angle, and now it's got to be by elimination. Ooh. The crouch saves Dima, shoots Woxic in the face. Down to the wire. Again, no plant for HellRaisers, and it means that Well, they could choose to force behind it, but that was so close.
Yeah, that was really close. And it kind of does come back a bit to that push from Keycut in the just as the smokes were going away in middle. And maybe you think, okay, was that, HellRaisers outstaying their welcome in mid? Was their timing too slow? Because that's also, a possibility there, because, if they initiate the push more quickly, obviously everyone gets through, and then Keycut has to push through the event for the flank, and that's very difficult. It's a more favorable situation, but as it was, he gets the kill. He delays the bomb being picked up, and he gets information for his team for the rotation. It was a big play in reality from Keycut right at the beginning there. So that might be a tweak that HellRaisers should consider in the future to speed things up a bit in that spot. But as Angel surely will not challenge this angle. It is suicidal. It is suicidal. That's really nice. Gets the info with the jump peek. Keycut, though, unexpected to be so close, but Angel still wins the fight. That is a very, very nice fight to win, and maybe it gives him a chance.
3 players left. They've got no grenades. It is the gauntlet run for these players. Chrism into flash from the front of the site. You are surrounded, HellRaisers. Avangar looking much more comfortable on Cash at the moment. The wide peek from Prison. The trade attempt, but it's not going to work out. Expensive, but they will win the round, Avangar. And again, there's no plant for HellRaisers.
Seems like HellRaisers are struggling to reliably enter bomb sites here against the defense of Avangar. So credit to Avangar not being bullied by the fast plays of HellRaisers, forcing HellRaisers to play slower rounds, to play defaults. And HellRaisers' defaults have not been too successful. We're not seeing them reliably get opening kills. We're not seeing too much in the way of... I think one adjustment that could be good for HellRaisers is to try to, when they have a full buy, try to win middle. Try to win middle early in the rounds, not later in the round, but early in the round. See what happens, when you're in a 4v4 or maybe in a 5v4 or a 3v5, whatever it might be, but take middle straight away and then work from that. And because Avangar seem to be dealing with the set pieces really well, they're dealing with the rushes really well, and they're dealing with the late mid takes pretty well. So take middle away early is what I would like to see, but the buy is maybe not suitable for that.
Two 1-2 set up for Avangar after the initial 20 seconds. HellRaisers with many eyes towards the B bomb site. 3 smokes down in B. Maybe trying to pull rotation, which is why those players are there. Dead Fox will be lurking now. 4 smokes on the B bomb site. Mid is taken. That might suggest a split. And with Dead Fox getting a pick on the B bomb site, what happens now? 1 player spotted in mid, so maybe they know what's up. Issa. Oh, this is such an important frag from him, but it's Issa. Of course he gets the frag. Keycut now trying to take the bomb down. He will be successful, but Dead Fox is there on the rotation, and Buster's the last man from B. Dead Fox has to move quickly. If Buster goes into connector before Dead Fox gets off the highway position, he goes around the corner just in time. He knows where Buster may come in from. Jumps over to the site, and the bomb can go down now.
2v1 for the alt retake. Oh, that's... Surely he doesn't peek this. Got to be so careful with that jump spot. You've got to be so careful. I wonder if Buster likes to look at this. He was looking for that opening pick. I don't think he's going for it now, indeed. One thing that was confusing and surprising to me, let me know what you think about this, but you had Jame there, as they were pushing, trying to split onto A, and they had 3 players pushing through mid. They got the initial pick. Jame comes in. He misses the first shot. I forget who he's shooting at. Maybe it was Angel. And then he goes back again, misses again, and then gets it on the 3rd try. But if he hits that first shot, he's probably killing more. Like he's going to be he's going to pincer the rush. But it didn't seem like HellRaisers really cared about that. Like they didn't really react to it. They just kept running basically. I feel like more respect needed to be given to Jame there, even though he was missing his shots then.
Maybe it didn't then.
What's that?
I don't know. It's kind of funny when you think about it, but he hasn't been consistent in this game so far. But of course, that is a giant risk. 2-round lead for Avangar still remains. 2 AWPs for the side now. Is this an all-in from the CTs? It is indeed. No money in the hole, as evidenced by the 2 CZs. They go for the boost once more towards the B bomb site. Well, they started with that, but they've taking a different approach now. Avangar need to make something happen to make up for the shortcomings of these weapons. Will there be a creep through the smoke? It looks like it. Kikat in the smoke, as is Dima. Two-man push. Will there be a pop flash from James? He's got no flashes. He does have the AWP. Already deployed. That's why I didn't see it. Angel's been picked off. Woxic got to be careful on the repeat because of the grenade. There's a flashbang. He can't protect the weapon, however, and they may sacrifice another one. This is a disaster for HellRaisers.
Yeah, simple take of a main from Avangar yields a strong result. And they're off to a fantastic CT side, but this round is far from over with 3 remaining players on HellRaisers. And right now, HellRaisers individually they're not quite fired up just yet on Cash. And Avangar doing a good job here, just playing passively on the A and B bomb site, not really trying to, not allowing HellRaisers to really have anything. But there's 3 smokes, 2 Molotovs, and a flashbang. That is really nice. I don't know if they're going to go for the split here. This might be quite challenging. I guess anything within a 3v5 will be challenging. Can they get the frags? That's perfect. That's one. Kiko with an elevated position. With a wider angle. Now it's down to Issa. Oh, that had to be a kill. Can he? Yes, he can. He can fix it. And Dead Fox wins his 1v1 as Kiko then was concerned with the flank. Bomb is down. Issa goes for this. 2 seconds. He can't win the round at this point. And he will... I think he didn't die. Yeah, he didn't die after time, I don't think. So that's nice for him. But what is not nice is that their money sucks.
Reset again. HellRaisers really struggling on this T half. They cannot string rounds together. Pistol not included. And let's not forget that fantastic eco flash, that money flash from Avangar. $200 flash. It was worth a hell of a lot more. Implied value was enormous. HellRaisers looking to play close quarters with these pistols. Kika delaying a potential bomb plant with a great Molotov. Lovely transfer. That first kill. Ooh, Dead Fox doing colossal damage. That could have been way worse. There are no more smoke grenades for HellRaisers' side. They could have really done with an extra one to replenish that. A UMP and a Deagle to save the world. 2 AWP retake, though, is awkward for the CTs, all coming in from the car position. There are 2 more flashes to be had here.
That will slow things down a bit. I was about to say Angel, it'd be nice if he could survive longer, but Bondic now actually needs to do quite a bit to prevent the CTs. Oh, that's the long-range fight. Not going to win that one with the UMP. And, oh, no kit defuse here. Oh dear, that's kind of close. Oh my god.
That was pretty close.
If he had actually taken the fight on the right side with the UMP, which was close range, and won that, if there was no kit, which maybe there wasn't, they would have won the round. So, that is very interesting. Avangar. 8 rounds to HellRaisers 4. After Dust 2, they're going to be feeling much revitalized. Much revitalized. They're going to be feeling revitalized. Rejuvenated. Re-energized.
2-1-2 setup continues for Avangar. Buster in the checkers area. Checkered floor. Good for mopping. Can be seen in the odd diner. Pistols only for HellRaisers. Dead Fox with a smoke granate. HellRaisers focus on the A site once again. Angel's taking it in the face around a locker position. James lining up the pop flash. Kiko going for a push, and Issa jumps into his angle, going for a 180, but it's the locker room again, locker area rather, where Woxic is. Those lockers can come in handy to look over a smoke such as this if you have a sniper rifle. Often the corners, you can still see something through them. HellRaisers trying to capitalize on Bedlam and Anarchy. Just trying to get anything done here, but really, this has been a half of failure for HellRaisers, and Avangar looking in much better shape. Their shape was painted by an elephant in the first game. But in a second, they've got 9 rounds, and HellRaisers really look close to a 5th round. 2 rounds remain in the first half. Who knows what is to come from HellRaisers in the second half. Maybe they'll find comfort there, but Avangar keeping a stone in HellRaisers' shoe for now. Is this a boost? Coming in towards the A site, perhaps. Ooh, maybe not, because Angel's got a spray game on point, preemptively firing towards the boxes. He knew what might have been some game experience for you, some game sense. All these thousands and thousands of Counter-Strike rounds. We spoke about the spray earlier on. That's a rarer one towards that boost position, and very fruitful as well. A look from the CTs towards A main, they see nothing. And they will gamble stack on the B bomb site, it seems, Avangar. Their money is not spectacular at the moment. So it will be a retake scenario with Dima at the car position as far as A is concerned. Heading towards 45 seconds. And there's no info for Avangar. If HellRaisers opened a squeaky door, Dima would not have been close enough to hear it, but now he's rotating back towards the A site as the clock continues to tick. He's less worried about A mid and more worried about A, but look, they're so out of position. That's a big frag on Angel in the highway area. Woxic is waiting for a rotation, however, which allows the remainder of his team to focus on A itself and the car area, but no one is watching Fork. And how is this falling apart so bad? No plant. And one frag for HellRaisers. They were in such a good position. Woxic gets a consolation frag at the end. That was the round they needed to crush Avangar to pick up 6. Instead, it's 10-4 to Avangar. How on earth did that happen? Solo plays from Dima. Such an important role. That's a great burst. That's beautiful. No real focus on the forklift position, however. HellRaisers went to know that Avangar has stacked the B-bomb site with 3 players. So all the focus was on the site itself. Charging out into the middle position, the trades will benefit Avangar. 4 versus 3 very early on. Ill-equipped players on HellRaisers in this last round of the first half. Only pistols are remains. Plenty of utility. Kika lets the first one go past for a 2-man spray down. That is Isa versus 4. We are asking much of him on this occasion. He's multiple player, but also the bomb. Running out of bullets. And there are too many man. 11 rounds for Avangar. They have to be happy with that. Dima with 20 frags played a very important role in a number of rounds in that half. Solid stuff from Avangar, but can they close it out on the T side? It starts with the pistol. On the CT pistol, Avangar put 3 into the B bomb site with Dima baiting his teammates hiding behind a box. HellRaisers went towards the A site, but again we saw some anticipation from the CT side. Will we see the same from HellRaisers? Apparently not. A 2-1-2 setup, somewhat more traditional than what we have seen today and yesterday here on Cash. They will not be hyper aggressive, as now we've seen from 3. Well, perhaps they weren't hyper aggressive, but they were well prepared towards the B bomb site. P250 onto Kika. Very patient shooting. If you spam as fast as possible, you will cause your pistol to be inaccurate. So he's patient, trying to be accurate there, but he can't quite land the needed headshot. Minute 15, and he will harass towards the Z connector position, spotting an elbow as he drops off, but HellRaisers are not giving them much. There we go. Dima and Buster. That's a nice HE, but it's the CZ to get the kill. Ooh, 2 out of that, and he's got time to reload. He spotted a bomb as well. He's bought time for his team's rotation. Dima holding an angle, but he's only going to be up against more CTs as this clock continues. Now we have Isa in a flanking position. One play close to the smoke. So again, the patience from Avangar will cause them problems. Isa creeping through, he spotted him. Wants to go down quietly. Can he find a headshot? He can, and there is a much needed pistol round for HellRaisers.
Yeah, judging by Dust 2 as well. Again, it is Avangar's choice, but judging by Dust 2, if HellRaisers do get this good sort of buffer of money and good security within that and don't have to worry about having orbs, utility, rifles, all that, it'll be interesting to see if they can make the comeback. I think they have to be very confident to do so.
They've won both pistols now.
Oh yeah. Did they get did they lose the force against force?
They lost the third round. They lost to an eco.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
It wasn't even a force spy.
Yeah.
It's just a well-placed tennis ball filled with lights.
Yeah. that door play, that was cool. So Avangar looking to get some damage in here, and Buster's only gone Deagle, no Kevlar, so I'll probably see a Deagle next round from him as well. Something that I like to do just because, I mean, with a Deagle, the kinds of fights you'll be taking oftentimes, you're not looking to run and gun, and you're not looking to take bullets. You're looking to fire the first bullet. You're looking to have that advantage and hope that that first bullet connects. And having Kevlar or not having Kevlar doesn't make a difference there to the impact. But if and that's why I like the CZs for like the different purpose, because the CZ you can run, you can get up there, you can move and shoot, get in their face. Very different application to the round versus the Deagle. Which is why I like it when teams sort of mix them. They'll have like 2 people with Deagles and 3 with CZs. I like that the most than, you know, 5 Deagles or 5 CZs or whatever like that. So just a small thought on that.
Thoughts with Dan.
I don't know if you agree with me, James, but
Different strokes, different folks. Depends on your style. Like if you go Deagle and Kevlar, if you're kind of if you're able to get into reasonably close quarters where you take a shot and then go for a crouch second shot to be slightly more accurate. If you're playing closer to Deagle and more aggressive, looking for that 2-shot spam, then the Kevlar can come in handy. If you're looking for the longer range 1-shots, then the Kevlar may be less relevant. Or if you're wanting to, if you have intentions to shoot somebody in the face and then play some, let's say, post-plant positions, then pick up the person's gun. It depends on how long-term or short-term. So there's no bad choice, only preference.
Preference.
5 Glocks. It's a Glock train. If you've got a valid ticket, the inspectors are here, and the fines are being dished out left, right, and centre. Everybody off the bus.
Chunks everywhere.
That's a train and bus. It's a bus train. It's a hybrid, okay?
A bus train, that's cool. I like that. Like a tram. I guess a tram is kind of like a bus train.
Yeah.
It's a bus train, isn't it?
You can get bus boats as well, like Vaporetto in Venice, or like those duck tours in London. If you're coming to London for the major, you've got these boats which have wheels on, so you can drive around.
Amphibious.
You've got a nice amphibious vehicles. You've got a nice budget tour of London. One did catch fire in the Thames once.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's
it's a good place to be if there's a fire. Technically speaking, I mean, in one way.
It's kind of
because there's plenty of water.
Like, at least it's contained from everybody else, but you're kind of screwed, I guess.
But if it's an electrical fire, then the water's not so relevant because you want the CO2. You want to starve it of oxygen.
Well, with that happy note from James, back into the Counter-Strike. It's a happy note for HellRaisers. A C major. Happy. I actually don't know anything about music, but I'm pretty sure that's that's correct. Nice pick from Angel. This is what we were talking about before, and having someone boosted, it really helps. Like, you're looking for that counter boost timing. Oh my god, that was a really quick kill from that MP9 at distance. Angel is being quite problematic, isn't he? And this is like the bonus for HellRaisers. If they win this round with the SMGs, they get to upgrade to rifles for free. And they keep so much money due to that. Ooh, Dead Fox makes it work with the MP9 spray. That rate of fire coming into handy. Very fast, very high rate of fire.
Looks like Avangar might need some Avengers in this round. There aren't many trade frags happening. Bells being rung all over the shop.
AWP and 2 AKs picked up. That is nice. Nice.
Big boy toys.
And
big man things.
Whenever I see like an MP9 in a buy like this, I do think of Daps. Because Daps he keeps the MP9 all the time and he's such a beast with it as well. It's a great weapon. I
love the MP9.
Me too.
MP9's often a full buy for me on cash if I'm playing close.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the MP9. It's so good for certain spots. The running accuracy is really, really good, and like what James was saying, like certain spots, like if you're in a spot where you feel fairly confident you'll get a 1v1, you've got an upgrade. there, and maybe you have an advantage in that particular type of engagement because maybe the wide peak where you're running is going to be really difficult for them if they're holding particular angles with an AK or something. So Counter-Strike is very complex, has a lot of nuance to it, a lot of intricacies.
Hello. The knife out on the peak, so the peak is faster. Quick in, quick out is a risk, but the whole peak is a risk. So he tries to minimize the risk by having the knife out, so he has as high velocity as possible. And this is why you can see the windows to your right. You can shoot through those to take out the windows to the left into the B bomb site to allow you to stream the grenades in. Now, Woxick's position can be Molotoved from outside, but Avangar are on the eco, of course, so mollies are unlikely. Mollies from the CT side to try to delay the push. deadfox spots one in the smoke, and that will keep Woxick alive.
Yeah.
Kikert now, the last man standing. No damage done in this round. This will not be a costly round for HellRaisers, who have closed the gap to 2. So will this be... I mean, so far, Avangar have not won a single round in this half. HellRaisers only got 4 rounds on their T side. So it seems that the CT side has become dominant for this matchup at least.
Yeah. deadfox, he saved Woxick so hard. Woxick was about to be very dead. And deadfox is an instant headshot on Jame. Ooh, a little run boost there to go past Woxick's angle. And that is the AWP too, so the AWP squads, they've gone now, but they made a play. Nothing happened from it though, unfortunately for them. We'll have now a passive approach from both sides. Vanguard, do they go for a delayed mid-take? James still looking for a pick, looking for an opening for the team. There is one player in Squeaky. And HellRaisers are now switching to a 2-2-1 or a 3-1-1. So they are very prepared for any aggression towards A. Again, delayed mid-take at this timing of the round is very strong, because now you can see there's only one guy there, and there he goes. He's been picked off. That will distract Angel, who has an MP9, so he can pick up the gun. An AK upgrade, very nice. Double peek perhaps with deadfox. They are trying to keep tabs on this. But that's, oh no, Buster has cracked open the B-bomb site. That might be it.
There is plenty of money here for HellRaisers and deadfox. 30 seconds, the bomb isn't on the site just yet, but deadfox is alone now, and he has little to lose apart from the AK.
He's on one, isn't he?
Yeah, it was a question of damage for HellRaisers, but he almost made it more than that. Avangar finally win a round. They win their first round on this half, but can they repeat the success? I think the desk were talking about some rounds coming down in recent matches, coming down to simply one individual when the team have been struggling on the entire half. We saw it on a train in an earlier match, and perhaps the same is true on Cash on the T side for both these teams. Just the first round for Avangar. They need 4 more. If all of them are going to be a struggle, then this could be quite worrisome for them. They are a game down at the moment. Look at what a peek from deadfox. Actually saw one of the players at Sunroom.
Yeah, he's absolutely on one this game so far. He's 22 for 13. The rest of his teammates are in fact, he hasn't got a single teammate that is positive on the KDA or the KAD. The CAD. Computer assisted design.
The reason it's KDA is because at first, in an early iteration of a HUD, we only showed the K and the D. And then someone said, hey, what about the A?
Got the A in there now.
So we just added it on the end, but we can reorder it at a later date. Can Avangar reorder HellRaisers and push them out of this A bomb site? Streaming through the smokes, Kikert finds the frag despite the flashbang. Continuation spray, Bondic, has he been spotted? Maybe by Christopher Buster jumping across to the site with the bomb. The bomb has to go down now. There are still 2 players in the B bomb site for HellRaisers, which makes me wonder about the comms in this situation, or if they're just purely waiting for bomb plants.
Ooh, that's... Bondic has been allowed to run free roam. Now he's distracted Jame to his position, and Bondic can just hold whilst the teammates can do something. Flashbang. Ooh, forward play from Buster. Does he make it out alive? Stuck now by Forklift. That's a very decisive shot in for the reload. Now down to Jame by the A main area, and he will be annihilated by Dead Fox. There is plenty of time here for a defuse. Plenty of time. A.
What?
AWP collected. I was tripping over my words and just.
That was amazing. A.
It's like when people are like juggling people in the corner in fighting games. Hey.
It's normally me who gets trapped on a letter or something. That was
not.
I enjoyed that.
An advertisement for Alcoholics Anonymous.
Avangar's bomb plant really helps them in a very difficult situation. So they've only been successful. Yes! They've only been successful for 1 round.
So I was way too happy there with that.
Angel's been taken out towards the highway position. I think Krisen politely opened the door for his teammate to get that pick. Seen some very interesting plays from Avangar on both sides of that door now.
Yes. No. I'm just making noises now. That's what
it's pretty much been you all day today.
Yeah, the commentary is just devolved into noises. That loosely constitute being a word. 4v5 for HellRaisers, looking for a way back into an equalizer. Now, oh god, Woxic has no idea. Dima knows it. There's no way he gets this kill. Oh, that's a good fast response from Dead Fox. If he dies there, that's probably... Oh, the lineup for Issa! That's a quick 3. And now it's just Krisen left by door.
Dear oh dear.
It's been shattered. The dream of this round was shattered. Oh man! If Dead Fox doesn't get that instant kill onto the guy who's who was it? I think it was Buster, I think, or Demasic, whoever it was in mids, killing Woxic. I don't think that they even win this round. It's hard to say.
Krisen will be heard running away. You see, that's the problem if you want to save. Sometimes you've got to walk away so as not to give off the sound cues. I mean, he can escape anyway, but you can see the reaction from the CCs when they hear him scurrying away. That was nice. Door opening service. He brought his porter along. Driving Miss Daisy. Avangar now, $2,000 per person for the most part, but Krisen, he broke. He's barely got a pot in which to pee because of the timeouts. He has no bonus money.
Where your pot?
Very good, Dan. Very good. 2-1-2. This is a novel smoke of the main position. Preemptive flashbang, and the smoke, I feel, has not gone where it was supposed to. That's how I feel about it.
So delayed mid control, perhaps. Waiting for the nades over block CT, but white box has usually been where these HellRaisers players have been operating from, and Bondic is there. He's got himself an AK-47. He is focused on that fine angle, the finest of angles. Looking for a clean headshot if someone is to cross him. Keycut's there once again. We're seeing Keycut be the man that's often put in this position, and he's gone. That's a nice off angle from Bondic.
In the meantime, Dead Fox was holding a Molotov around the Z-connector position. That's a spread by Angel, but there's still a fight in Krisen. Been such an important player for Avangar in this tournament overall. With 20 seconds, he finds himself in a 1 versus 2. HellRaisers may be wondering what exactly is going on. Woxic must have been holding the lower angle, but is able to raise it high. The fact Angel even sees that first player is quite something.
Yeah.
But kills 3 of them as well.
Good spread. Lovely spread.
Now it is a pair of 12s. Avangar with limited grenades, 5 AKs. They could have, of course, got more grenades, Molotovs and so on for an execute, but they've prioritized having 5 AK-47s instead. Now, this is something we mentioned before, rifles over utility.
Yeah.
They've used one flashbang. They've got one flashbang left.
They're going to go for the challenges, and that's the only option afforded them with this limited utility, and CTs are winning the challenges. Let's see if they can do anything else with these AKs. They've got 2 smokes left. And Angel with a very strong peek. Taking Keycone out of the picture. That's 2 players on the A site now, and they can be allowed to even plant the bomb. I don't think HellRaisers will care too much. HellRaisers have a 5v2. They've got lots of utility. Throwing in the incendiaries. There's 1 to 4, Clift. That will clear that position. That will allow Issa to slowly wrap onto the T's. That's the bomb down. James is stuck by the red container. He takes down Issa, but has to go back for the bomb. And HellRaisers know the bomb has been dropped there. He's got 9 HP, and he's been finished off.
With how long they were out of A main, but not on the site, they had smokes down. They didn't try to push the site. It was a 2 versus 5, if I'm not mistaken. And they just waited.
Yeah.
And then they just got picked off for free because HellRaisers were curious.
But I think you made a good point. You have to, if you're going to decide to buy in a round with AKs and stuff, and if around
have some stuff,
5 people are going to have AKs, you have to have an assist with that utility. You got to have the combination. You have to have a bare minimum.
I wonder if it suggests a lack of depth from Avangar and the strat book, because like if you have a round with less than ideal money on the T side, especially on a map like Cash, there are plenty of executes you can have. Buy weapons which are more favorable in close quarters and use the utility to get you into those close quarters with a burst with the numbers. Put 4 people, 5 people on one side.
Yeah.
Do it early. Get the Molotovs for A behind the smoke. Do it for B. Molotovs behind the site.
It could be a sign as well from just, again, like there's always this issue, let's say, if you're not playing in a region which has a lot of really, really top teams and you're not punished enough, then, and if that's your only way to learn the game by losing, as opposed to studying the game as well, then you might not realize that against the good teams, you need utility, because when they're playing defensively, they will have setups. They will have their own utility, sure, but you're going to be having to deal with crossfires and so on. How do you deal with crossfire? You're horribly out of favor. You need to use utility to diminish the strength of their setups. It's just as simple as that.
And what they're looking to do in this round, they could have done, well, they could have done better and had this approach in the previous round with less AKs and so on. I feel like a team like this, maybe the coach could say to them, okay, if you want to buy all rifles, you have to leave T spawn with at least 1 Molotov, for example, to kind of put the idea in their head, because I mean, it was 12-12. They've basically given up 2 rounds.
Yeah.
I want to say there was a pop flash there in that play in that previous round, but all I saw was people jumping out with smoke and a shooting gallery. But yeah, I mean, on a map such as Cash, to have 2 flashbangs.
It does almost suggest that no one's thinking about the whole team effort in a round like that. They're thinking, oh, well, we don't quite have enough money. Let's just buy stuff. Everyone's buy. Okay, then we'll figure it out afterwards. As opposed to be like, okay, let's do this kind of a round. This is going to be our buy. And take a pause. Take a tactical timeout if you need it to figure that out. You know, I don't think we've seen a single tactical timeout used, in fact, today, actually.
Dima made his way into mid. In the meantime, Issa picked off a player by Squeaky Door and then another player by main, and is rotated elsewhere. Angel's making a play through Squeaky, and he might run into Buster, who won't be expecting this. Not looking for it, but Angel moves his crosshair to the left, and that gives them some breathing room, but not much. Buster on his own, and he has run out of air, as have Avangar, it looks like. Run out of steam. Match point for HellRaisers, looking to advance in the bracket, and at 12-12, I think there are so many questions to look at in review should Avangar lose this series. But at least they have that. They have the evidence to look at, but they need to process it. That's another part.
Yeah, there's lots of spots.
Here we go again.
Yeah. 3 flashes, a single smoke.
What is the plan?
Oh, that. It's either tilt or it's just a lack of attention and focus to an important match. You got to get that utility out there. Although I'm going to give it a go here with what they have, and Kiko's trying to be sneaky here behind the smoke. This is way up high above the smoke though, so this is going to have more of an advantage because as that dissipates, ooh, Kiko though, like a little ninja.
Dima has made a play all the way through mid, and there's a huge mistake being made here by HellRaisers. Somehow Dima got through mid for free and got up to highway. There was a player in Z connector, from what I could see on the radar, looking at like sandbags or something. Bondik focusing with his teammate towards A main, not expecting the T's to make a play that quickly. And there's only 3 rounds between these two teams, but HellRaisers are almost falling over money at the moment, and Woxic is the last man standing, although he is moonwalking towards James. Please turn around.
He's not looking behind him, is he? That's a free frag. Ooh, hello. But it is interesting though, because around like so this is the problem, right? Because they win this round. It's because let's say they play really well individually, or HellRaisers have make some mistakes as well, whatever it is, and they'll probably never look at that round before, where they clearly don't have enough, and they're sort of relying on mistakes from their opponents and an overperformance within their individuals within the round. So and that's what the coach is going to be for. Like, you need some eyes on those rounds. Just because you win a round doesn't mean you played it well. Let's not be outcome oriented. Let's see. Still a chance, there's still a buy, and that's a beautiful push here from Woxic. He's going to be waiting. He can't really double back out there too easily. He's got to be careful that he doesn't get sprayed. Especially when you close the door, you give a sound cue to the T's when you're trying to escape that position. But he's just going to post up quad. No one was spraying through to punish him, falling back out that position. And it looks like it's about to be over here. HellRaisers, 1 player away, 1 frag away from closing this best of 3 down and continuing through this CIS minor in the winner bracket. So 16-13, good recovery from them. A mere 2 rounds won by Avangar on the T side. Only 4-1 by HellRaisers. Definitely HellRaisers will be looking at that T side, I should hope, but they will be happy to continue on.
He's a problem on the A bomb site. Man, there was some serious frags there from Dead Fox, Issa and Woxic, but I really feel like Avangar threw away the end. I mean, I just feel like they didn't really make the most efficient plays. It's like, not only did they buy all the AKs when they didn't have any grenades, but I feel like in a round like that, you have limited resources, so you need to concentrate those resources into a focused effort and try to make a set play into one of the bomb sites, or a set play splits. But they just kind of, okay, let's buy some AKs and see what we can do. So it didn't seem like there was one focused aim for the team. And yeah, maybe they would have won, maybe they would have lost, but you have to put it that they lost because of that. At that point in the game. Yeah, but it's, I don't know, I mean, it feels like a very simple thing.
Yeah, no,
it's a common understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, you could get like double Molotovs onto the back of the B bomb sites with nice pop flashes, and you have a better chance than otherwise. Over to Freya with the winners, HellRaisers.
Yes, that's right, James. I'm here with Issa from HellRaisers. So congratulations on the win. Were you guys feeling confident coming into this?
Sure. It's our most important tournament for us, so we need to prepare mentally and practice hard for this.
So Dust 2 was a really convincing win from you guys. What was your strategy going into this?
We just played our game the same way we practiced, the same way we played in official. So that's pretty much why we win like this.
You guys looked really dominant on that map. You didn't let the opposition get any CT rounds. What was the focus going into that?
I don't know. Their play style works on how we counter them, because they like to peek everywhere and they like to do a lot of solo stuff, and we like to play against these kinds of aggression because we know how to stop them.
Do you feel that, like you said, they like to play a lot of solo, they like to peek a lot of stuff? Do you think that came back to bite you on cash because it was a lot closer?
We couldn't do our rounds on cash. I don't know. Every round, something weird was happening. Even our coach told us, "What are you doing?" We weren't playing our game, and everything was weird. Our rounds was weird. Every round we were trying to do, there was one mistake, and pretty much that's why we didn't have a good start on T side. But on City side, we won the pistol, and we we got back the game like on our hands.
Do you feel like that pistol round sort of snowballed you into winning and closing out the game?
Sure, because for me personally, like when I won the pistol, I know deep from my heart we could do this comeback because like it's a lot easier. Like 3 rounds and then it's already like 11-7 and 1 by round and it's already 11-11. So like pretty much it's easier with pistol round because if you lose the pistol round, like pretty much the games will be so hard. Like you need to try to win the force and etc. and it will be so harder.
So we definitely saw you guys have a great comeback there. You played particularly well. What enabled that performance, and how does the team allow you to perform so well?
To be honest, I don't know. Like my role, like in HR, I'm just getting used to what I'm being like told, especially by Angel. So I'm trying to focus only on his goals. I'm trying to practice. Like lately, I'm practicing individually a lot for myself. All I'm focusing is like my game sense, and I don't think about anything else because it's not my job.
Because Angel has been on the team for, what, 4 years now, I think it is. Is he a good sort of grounding guy to have on the team, sort of you listen to, tells you what to do?
Yeah, sure. Like you need to trust your leader if you want to perform good in your role because if you don't trust him, then you will not play good yourself because you know that every call he's doing is not good, so you will not play good. But for me, like Angel is best guy I ever saw. Maybe because I didn't play like with someone else, but I'm pretty sure like he's a really good guy and he teach me a lot in this game. Like when I joined the char, he gave me a lot of experience and he like improved the way how to think inside the game. So it helped me a lot. And then just need to focus on my individual.
Yeah, so you guys are now coming up against Prosto, and the winner of that will claim the challenger spot. How are you feeling coming into this? Are you feeling confident?
Sure, because we are like, for me, I think we are the clear favorites of this tournament, so we should be confident at least because like we know that this tournament is ours and it's our dream as well for me and Woxic at least because we don't have any stickers. So we will do our best and I hope we will win.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations again. Confident words from Issa. We're going to head back over to the desk.
You're right, Fred. Confident words from the young man from Jordan, and I think they are only right. That was a great performance by HR. That first map, Dust 2, was very one-sided, and Cash, which was in fact Avangar's pick, was a risk within itself by their opponents because HR are also strong on that map, and that only came to show when after not having the best T side, they came through on that CT side with the pistol, and then from then on, it was pretty much all about going down to hell and meeting Devil himself, or the Angel up top, depending on how you want to see it. Halvor and Matthew.
Yeah, no, HellRaisers, yeah, struggled a little bit towards, got a little bit worried on that Cash. Obviously, Dust 2 was a great display of, again, how well that veto worked out for them. They played that to perfection. You could see how easily they got into the game and pretty much controlled everything from start to finish. Cash was more similar to, I guess, what we saw in the first Best of 3 series the other day, the train matchup between Brosta and Team Spirit, where it felt like neither team had a really good grip of what they wanted to do on their T side. I think we saw a lot of the similar issues. For me, it felt like HellRaisers a lot of the time kind of got stuck in over towards that A-bomb side, didn't really have too much variety in their play. But luckily when they get over to the CT side, they do well, and that's when you see players like Issa, Dead, Fox, etc. really get to work, and that's why they end up with high frag totals like they were doing.
Matthew, can we see what Halvor's just said about the lack of creativity on the T side of HR? Maybe to do with the fact that Avangar, it is a map that they are happy playing, so potentially their CT side was more prepared and they'd done some research before they came to play today.
Yeah, absolutely. I would actually give credit to Avangar for that. I thought they were very proactive, maybe not necessarily at the beginning of the round, but like mid-round they would retake A main times and times again. They would kind of disturb HR in their execute, in their plans that they had, and we discussed it on the desk. They needed to do that in order to have a good city side. Yeah, in my opinion, they kind of did their part of the job on the city side, but then the T side, would it be Dust 2 or Cash, was very, I thought, disjointed, and I think it allowed HellRaisers individuals to shine because the revenge, the refrag was too late, maybe the utilities were not used so well. So their city side, if we have to look at the silver lining, good city side from Avangar, that is true, but the T side was too disjointed for me.
Just quickly look at Issa's stats on screen. The guy went absolutely huge throughout this series, averaging almost 25 kills per map.
Not bad. Not bad. Not too shabby. And I mean, you can see over on Avangar as well, Demon Sick having a pretty good series across the board too.
But for me, it was so weird to watching through that cash game, really, because both teams kind of got screwed over by the same thing on each side. Really, it was the aggression, the fact that they were able to disrupt setups for whoever was playing on the T side that really just felt like it was extremely one-sided. There wasn't really that much tension in what they were doing on the attacking side, because they never really got to set up for their proper executions, and they never really had like a proper idea of how to handle any sort of aggression coming out of the opponent, which is weird when you know that you as a team yourself thrive on being aggressive, whether it's early in the rounds or if it's mid rounds, by being aggressive in A main, or actually going aggressive towards Toxic to gain map control and so on. Like, if you know that that's something that you get a lot of rounds on the CT side versus opponents because they don't know how to deal with it, surely you would have had made a thought or two about how you're going to approach that if you are on the receiving end of the exact same thing. And it didn't really seem like any of the teams had a clear idea of what they were supposed to do in those kind of scenarios.
To me, it felt just a little different with Avangar. I felt like in some rounds, the pistol being included for me, they actually had the advantage at the beginning of the round. They would take early kills, they would have the advantage, but somehow not got together. They would allow double kills when they actually had the numbers advantage. The pistol was a huge example. Deadfox being able to take 2 CZ kills. On the B side, it's a 5v3. If Avangar go together, there is mathematically no way they lose the round unless someone goes absolutely crazy. Yeah. So I felt like Avangar gave away a lot of opportunities as T, and HellRaisers were good enough to punish them.
Unfortunately for Avangar at times, certain players on HR were indeed, as you've said, going crazy, and the first example of that, potentially the most salient example, is Issa getting an ace.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not typical for me to spot like one player. I always like to look at the the complex tactical, the big picture. But I think on this 2, that was just too big to be ignored. Issa had a massive performance. This ace is just one of these amazing rounds he had. And you can see when I was talking about disjointed, it seems too easy for Issa.
One by one. This is deathmatch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, props to him. The aim is on point. The skill is masterful. But first, he gets a pick onto middle. He has the time to turn around, gets double kill on the tunnel. This is what's going to happen. Now, he's not under any pressure. He's not flashed.
He should be getting double peeked by those guys.
Exactly.
Tunnel, right?
It's way too comfortable. I mean, props to him. And this guy just, okay, he arrives, but what can he do?
Yeah.
Issa manages to almost feel like comfortable in a position where he should be attacked by every angle, and that should be hell for him, but it's actually not.
Yeah, to his credit, I mean, he changed up his angle after every kill except those those second 2, because he was on window, got that middle kill, then he looked into the B tunnels, and that's the moment where Avangar should be capitalizing that double peek. It's very unlikely he's going to spray down both of them, but they go one by one, switches up the angle, drops down, looks up to window, and then from there the round's already over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and continuing further on the point of positioning and how important that can be, and how that can be a salvaging factor in a rough position where you normally should be pretty done for. We had Demasic over on Cash as well, showcasing similar kind of skill and how much of a difference that actually makes for you in tight situations. As you can see, Demon's pretty isolated here on the A bomb site.
Actually,
for the better part of it.
This is quite similar in terms of like meta and what he's using in terms of general Counter-Strike tactics compared to what Issa did on Dust 2, right?
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, he's using, again, the utility put down by HellRaisers to his own advantage. Again, the Molotov just extinguishing over towards Truck, that allows him to actually wrap around after having found an Angel initially. Again, there's nobody on HellRaisers' side that are aware of what Demasic is doing at any given point. A little bit of a brazen plant there, that's very hopeful. But that happens sometimes, especially when you let the rounds go down late. And, again, if you're being pressured early on in rounds, etc., that does kind of put a bit of a damper on how quickly you feel it can go on the T side. So all of that comes into play with it. But Demasic just plays nicely around the site, doesn't necessarily put himself in extremely dangerous positions, uses the utility at his disposal to make the most out of it. And I think, that's one of the reasons why we saw Avangar pick up so many weapon rounds, because that's really what they did, because they lost both pistols on Cash, still managed to get 13 rounds. That's a pretty remarkable job, all things considered.
Are you guys hearing AK shots being fired as well?
I am.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, just ignore that, everybody. I think something worth noting about what Demasic did on the A site there on Cash as well is when he's at a disadvantage, trying to use the enemy's utility against them. Like, so for instance, when that smoke comes down from main blocking off the car and he's got that kill onto short, he knows he has maybe a bit of wiggle room to get round and potentially peek onto the forklift, and it kind of spirals from there.
Yeah, and he knows that he can't stay put on side because the likelihood of him getting double peeked extremely high. He knows he can get pop flash from above red container, etc. So he needs to find a way where he can sort of like isolate himself from the rest of the players, and he does so marvelously. And the fact that he also swings back instead of going for a wide peak deeper towards the back end of truck, which is, you know, a very typical move in that kind of scenario because you want to kind of get to the jump on the HellRaisers players moving on towards side. Swings back, and again, like while he's doing all of this as a sole defender on that A bomb site, that obviously allows for rotations to come in and make pretty quick work of an A push that we saw quite a few times from HellRaisers.
Do you think it was maybe a slight mistake from Angel to be the first guy to take the peak, the fight against Dimasic, because he's the first person shooting at Dimasic, and he's supposed to be like the lurker. He's supposed to be the revenge, like his teammate are supposed to take the side, get the info on Dimasic. He comes from behind, kills him. He takes the fight first. Maybe that's what enables
Where was
Dimasic.
he? Was he in MBK?
He was in Highway.
He was
in Highway.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
And I guess this kind of leads back to the Issa clip we saw as well on Dust 2, the fact that if your team is somewhat disjointed with an execute, first off, again, like it requires individual skill obviously to be able to pull it off, but you don't get those kind of highlights unless there's some mistakes on the opponent's side. And I completely agree, but even if Angel is too quick to actually pounce out on Highway there, the return should be quicker to the point where he's still isolated on the bomb site for you know, a certain amount of time. That's where you need to have the rest of the HellRaisers members actually being close enough to the bomb site to get a trade frag, and it was quite a few times actually over the course of the game on Cash on both teams really, where they just weren't in the right places at the right time to actually get trade kills, get any sort of advantage to gain map control or take control over a bomb site easily.
Yeah, on that CT side, HR just looked dominant. I think there was one round where Angel had an MP9 who's boosted onto middle, and they basically got their first 3 kills from MP9s, 2 from him and then 1 from Dead Fox.
Yeah, I think Dead Fox eventually got a second one as well. And
really? Okay.
And that was the first buy round of the half as well.
And that was a full buy for the T's for Avangar.
And that's a massive swell in economy, obviously, for HellRaisers. They can continue holding on to those MP9s because nobody died. And at that point, like even if you're Avangar and you actually win a buy round at some point, it's just like, well, the rest of the CTs are sitting on 12k at least. So what are you supposed to do? Like, it's a rough situation when you get away with that bonus round, especially when you get away with it in such a fashion as well.
Luckily for Avangar, they are not out yet. They drop down into that losers bracket, and tomorrow we'll have to square off against Team Spirit. We have one more best of 3 to come today, however, and whoever wins this makes it to the grand final and will secure the first of the 2 major spots for the CIS, from the CIS minor. So it's going to be HellRaisers going up against Prosto. That is going to be a fantastic match. I'm very much interested to see if Prosto can offer the sort of skills and tools to dispatch of HellRaisers. Right now, I don't think they do. I don't think they have them at their disposal.
Well, they talked about being a strategical team. They're going to have to bust out some pretty special strategies in order to go toe-to-toe with HellRaisers. But, you know, we've seen weirder things happen so far in the other minors. So, you know, anything could happen.
Matthew, closing thoughts, please.
I would say reassuring from HellRaisers. They really established their status here. Maybe one side on Cash was a little shaky, but Orville, they did what they had to do. They are probably going to go further into the bracket with full confidence. And I'm looking forward to the next game.
Indeed, and that is what we will be getting into very, very soon. Everybody at home, do not forget about our Miners Millionaire giveaway. 2 million FACEIT points on the line. I might try and sneakily ask Mr. JB Bardolph for some of my own. FACEITmage.com/giveaway to get involved. All right, everybody will be back after a short break. This next match decides our first qualifier into the major from the CIS region. Do not go anywhere.